assets.
We can crack the wallet.
Oh, we've done it before.
We've got rigs, character adversary, attribution mode
with our private keys combined.
Building some kind of blockchain super weapon.
There's just a number of vulnerabilities that are in the smart contracts.
Math. It's probably secure.
They all secretly mine cryptocurrency.
What coin can I trust? Which one is cryptographically secure?
Don't roll your own crypto. CoinSec Podcast. Hey, welcome to the CoinSec Podcast. This is episode number 70.
Woo! 70.
Oh man, you were ready with the air horns.
Right on.
There you go.
I was not expecting that. I was honestly not.
I had to get
Always
the air horn
expect
ready.
the air horn.
I always forget the air horn. I remembered it this time.
So
Okay, we'll pay you this time, Ryan.
Yeah. I'll do it.
We'll send you some mango coins.
Mango.
Too soon? Too soon?
Always.
well, they got some of those back. So in a highly profitable trading strategy.
They
So
all
all right. So we've been gone for a little bit. A couple weeks. We had some conferences and stuff. We were at Wildwest Hacking Fest last week, which was awesome. Highly recommend if you haven't been out to that one. Check it out. Actually, what's funny is the last Wildwest Hacking Fest, when it was all remote, Steve and I did a lab. We did a blockchain lab for that one. I think maybe next year we should probably try to do that one in person again.
Yeah, and I know I'll be at Hack Miami in May, so might try to put something together there. I know Rod Soto down there with Hack Miami's, and Miami being a crypto hub would be something good to put on down there. So
We've had him on the show. We love him.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. We should.
Is that actually announced? Hack Miami, is it like officially
Yeah,
happening?
yeah, you can go buy tickets and everything now.
Buy tickets. I think I'm on.
Are the tickets an NFT? No?
Oh.
I don't think so.
Ooh. Well, that's good because I don't want to pay the gas.
Yeah, that was the gas. I see. I knew gas was coming up.
Well, and then
Yeah,
so-
you had
Stage
gas.
passes are.
So the CTF is actually trying to steal somebody else's ticket, which is an NFT, right? So that you can get into conference.
Nice.
I like it.
I assume you're joking, but that would be amazing if that was
That would be
true.
amazing. We should do something like that. Where
Can you post the link to where to buy tickets? Because I see
that would
a
actually
website-
Oh,
that would
sure.
be pretty amazing. Now that I think about it, like imagine like having a CTF where you have to compromise a smart contract.
That would be amazing.
And then ultimately like hack a wallet to get the
So, I
the
mean,
ticket.
not to just like give up the idea on the podcast where we're public, but like what you could do is have it so a website checks if you own an NFT in your MetaMask wallet before it grants you access. And if you have it, then it grants you access. Otherwise, it doesn't. Super simple. But
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Like that's the world of Web3.
That's how it works.
So we are also hanging out in Discord, CoinSec Podcast Discord, where I just posted the show notes for today. We've got lots of fun stories to talk about. So feel free to follow along as we go through the show. And first up, Corey, you released something. You did a talk at Wildwest Hacking Fest on
I
an
did.
OSINT knowledge base.
yeah, I built the thing. It's just like a Gitbook page that has all the OSINT links. The whole idea of it is like you have a million tools for OSINT, right? Well, hopefully we can provide some curation and give you an idea of what tool you should use, not what tool you could use. It's kind of like Wirecutter for OSINT tools. It's like, what's the budget pick? What's the top pick? So yeah, that's the goal. Feel free to contribute to it. It should be relatively easy to do. And there is some blockchain stuff. I actually haven't built like advanced recommendations for blockchain, but enjoy.
What's the best way to contribute to this?
So if you click edit on GitHub, that link right there, it'll take you to basically the GitHub page where it's all hosted in GitHub, and then you can just do a pull
Submit a
request
PR.
right here.
Okay.
It's probably the easiest way. If you have Gitbook, I can also add you as a collaborator, and then you can actually edit it in the Gitbook application, which you can see like some of the content looks a little weird for certain pages in GitHub. So that's another option, but either or. So
What I found out a neat trick recently is if you fork something on GitHub, and then change github.com to github.dev, it'll actually open via Visual Studio Code in the browser and allow you to edit your GitHub code right from there.
Yeah, that was super cool. I just saw that
Pretty
too.
interesting to do. So if you're
is
working on Corey's stuff, you could just fork it, change github.com to github.dev, and then modify right there and commit, and then do a pull request. Super easy.
Yeah, the Gitbook itself has a bunch of other editing features like sections and headers and all that stuff. So if you do want to get deep into it, I would recommend that. But yeah, any of the above, I'll appreciate it. It's really more about sharing people's knowledge than it is about like, I'm not like vetting the code. It doesn't have to compile. It's just like share what you know.
Yeah, the GitHub.dev thing, I just tried it. That is really cool, actually.
It's a hot tip.
Yeah,
it's like, how long has that been there that we haven't known about?
I know, right? This is
It's like been there for like 10 years.
I know. You can just take, if any GitHub, you don't even need to fork it. You could just type in obviously if you want to make the edits, but you could just type in the name, whatever it is, just change it to .dev instead of .com, and you just get like an interactive way to, wow. All right. Anyways, moving on.
It's brilliant. So yeah, so definitely go check that out. Submit stuff. If you have any sort of OSINT knowledge, go help Corey out there and toss some stuff in there. All right, so let's talk about some stories. So first up, we've got the Bitkeep hack. All right, so $1 million was stolen here. So an unknown hacker targeted the token swap service offered by Bitkeep, a multi-chain crypto wallet. The exploiter was able to steal $1 million from users that had approved tokens on Bitkeep's swap service. So sounds like this was similar to, typical attacks we've seen in the past where, malicious approval occurs on an application.
Well, so the approval
Being
was
able to
fine. It was
your
just
own data, right?
I think it was I don't think it was the approval. I think it was just an error in the contract, right? Or was it?
Yeah, so you can input your own values versus the contract supplying them for you. So it's basically input sanitization on.
The approval was intended. It's just the way that the approval was used that was abused by a logic flaw.
Gotcha.
I think I could be misreading this, but that was my take on it. It's like the person approved the contract intentionally, but then the contract had a vulnerability itself, and didn't, like Steve said, didn't validate user input, reuse, that kind of stuff, and then all the money just disappeared. $1 million. I'm, that's a lot of money nowadays in crypto. So.
Yeah, and what are they doing nowadays? We still using Tornado?
Yeah, so apparently this one used Tornado, I believe. Yep, yeah. So stolen funds were later routed through crypto mixer Tornado in an effort to obfuscate activity. There's another story today. I can't remember which one it is, but they're pointing out the fact that the other newer mixing service, Aztec, I think is the name of it, and I hadn't actually seen that before, so I'll have to take a look at that one. So there's an Aztec mixing service.
So they're just going to keep forking, Tornado Cash and renaming it
Aztec Network, and apparently FTX blocked it already.
Yeah, I will say, like, this mixing is going to get so annoying because of how, like, it's going to be sanctioned, and then it's going to be like super easy to without a sizable liquidity pool. It's going to be so hard to mix like $1 million, So, but hey, money's money, I guess. At the end of the day,
yeah, maybe Web3 will somehow make it so they can't shut it down. I don't know.
If you robbed a bank, I guess you couldn't really spend the money same day anyway.
That's a real deep comment there, Ralph.
I know. I know. I'm just thinking about like the whole point of like the Web3 stuff, like the DeFi and these mixing services is that like they're like you can't shut it down. And then they figured it out. They're like, all right, back to the drawing board, guys.
That's funny.
So apparently Bitkeep says it will refund all victims that had stolen that had funds stolen during this incident, and they said, what are they going? They're going to launch a compensation portal within 3 working days. So pretty soon,
nice.
If it's not already launched. So
anonymous kind of
the portal will not ask for your seed phrase. Just spoiler.
Oh, God.
So if you see,
but how do you
verify?
How do you verify that they had the coins?
Exactly. They need your yes. I need your seed phrase to verify that you're.
There will be copycats. So
Yeah.
stay safe.
Funds are safe.
All right. So next up, we've got Transit Finance hacker returns some funds. So apparently, and honestly, I missed the story initially, and it's probably because we were like busy with conferences and stuff. So apparently, somebody stole $28.9 million from Transit Finance. This was, I think, almost a month ago at this point, at least multiple weeks ago. And within 2 days of the theft, the thief returned nearly $18.9 million, keeping a $2 million bug bounty. The hacker capitalized on an exploit on Transit Swap's swap contract. You guys are gonna laugh at this though, okay? So apparently, between Transit Finance's internal security team and blockchain security firm PeckShield, Slowmist, and Bittrace, and Token Pocket, they somehow were able to uncover the attacker's IP address and email and associate it with on-chain addresses over the weekend. So apparently the guy got doxxed somehow and then returned all the funds. And it was
Shocker.
Oh.
It's like, oh, caught red-handed. I better
Yeah.
walk this back.
And I can't get over the fact that they always try to call it, like they're giving the money back, and it's a bounty. At that point, it's a ransom, right? You're basically paying them to try to stay out of trouble, which is not.
I mean,
gonna
$2 million.
happen.
That's a decent little bounty. I mean, that's it's
So how does that work if you steal $21 million, get caught, like they know who it is, and you're like, you know what? I'm still gonna keep a bounty. How does that work? You know?
I feel like it would come down to. I feel like it would come down to the company deciding if they want to press charges or prosecute them or not.
Yeah.
Right? Like, unfortunately, we know with law enforcement, like even the most simplest of crimes, like if there's no one pushing for prosecution, it's just not going to get prosecuted. Like no one's like, that guy jaywalked, like he's going to jail. Like you have to like, they have to want to catch you to make it worth prosecuting you. So like, it'll be very interesting to see. I guess it comes down to the company themselves if they're like, we want to let this guy walk, or like not. I don't know. It would be a tough decision to make if you're like that company, to decide, do we go after them and try to get the money back all the way, or do we just say like $2 million, whatever, that's our cyber insurance covers that, so we're just going to let you have it, whatever.
So another thing that's kind of interesting here is apparently the attacker themselves also became a victim of an attack. An arbitrage bot stole $1.1 million.
Front running the transaction or what?
Yeah. So of the stolen funds somehow, like there was an arbitrage bot that somehow was able to compromise $1.1 million.
Dude, when there's blood in the water,
So
the
funny.
sharks.
Oh
start
my
coming.
gosh, yeah.
It's like no honor among thieves, right?
Yeah.
Like classic. They're like, oh, someone's stealing money, I'm gonna front run it.
Dude, so what's funny is there's another story just like that in a little bit, and it's actually like it's exactly that. It's like a hacker attacking another hacker, and it's kind of hilarious. It's like a karma kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I guess
my-
like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, my one question about the bug bounty thing is that, like, if they didn't steal the funds, would they have given them any money for the bug bounty, right? Like, if they told them and then they patched it right away, and then they were like, here's like a Starbucks gift card.
In
Good
traditional security, I would say no. In blockchain, I would say yes, because we've seen some huge payouts.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Yeah.
personally,
I
I
mean,
would go with yes, probably.
I don't know. It's just one of those what ifs. Not to say that I agree with stealing first and then deciding your number later.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so I don't think Transit Finance had a bounty program before this.
No,
They're
they
like,
have
we
one
do
That's
now.
weird.
Did you guys see that Uber hack? They like used the bug bounty program to pay ransoms. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's like how they do it
missed it.
now. So basically, like a guy went to he got convicted and actually went to jail because he was like the ex-CSO, and he had like covered up a hack and didn't tell anyone, and like paid off the people to not say anything, but he paid them off.
He paid the ransom,
Like
yeah.
the hush money came from the bug bounty program. He's like, go submit, like, to try to like make the funds, like from a corporate finance perspective, like they can't just be like $2 million wired to Russia. Anyone know what this is? Like, so they did it through the bug bounty program. They were like, just submit a shit ton of bugs and we'll just keep paying you out. Like that's how they did it. So kind of sketchy, but I guess, it's like Now we have a bug bounty program because we got hacked.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Always after the fact.
Yeah. So lesson learned here: have a bug bounty program before you get hacked.
Yeah.
So
consider spending on security before it becomes a fire.
I'm really curious, like what they did to find like this guy's like IP and email and stuff. I don't see that in any of these articles. It's probably on Twitter somewhere. I'm just missing it, but
I mean,
Yeah, I
obviously
don't
he
know.
wasn't in Russia, because if he was, he'd be like, "Come get me."
It could have been like, yeah, it could have been like a person, maybe one of the people that had their funds drained was like, I'm going after this guy, OSINT style. I don't know.
Mhm.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Like, if someone stole my money, I'd be like, who did it? Who was this, right?
Who dis? No
Who
money.
dis? No money, who did?
All right. So next up, we got Moola Market. Hacker returns 7.8 million. So it's another one where we see some money being returned. All right. So Moola Market, which is a lending protocol on the CeLo blockchain, suffered an $8.4 million exploit. Hours later, the attacker returned 93.1% of the stolen funds, which is roughly $7.8 million, to Moola's wallet. So the attacker kept some funds. They kept about 518 grand as a negotiated bounty reward. Just the same thing we were just talking about, right? Like another, like steal all the stuff, return a little bit, keep a pretty decent sized bounty, which is
This one's a little different. It's, maybe just the wording, but it says negotiated bounty.
Negotiate.
yeah.
So
So maybe they talk to them.
Yeah, I wonder. They had to, right? I feel like if you're an attacker, the first thing you do is message people and be like, "Want your money back? LOL." Like, like, hey, I'd like to start a bug bounty program, and I have the funding to do it for your company.
Yeah. So these things, they usually happen on chain too, like the messaging.
So my only question is,
This
did
was
they
what
have a
about
bug
that.
bounty program before this, or is this like how it started, right? Because that's kind of funny. Like, we talked about have a bug bounty program before you get hacked. I wonder if they had one beforehand, or if it was seriously the first time.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So let's see. So what was the exact issue here? What was the exploit? So it says they took advantage of the low liquidity of Moo. That sounds like, all right. So like, there's not enough milk in the fridge. Like low liquidity.
I think they milked this one for all it was
Oh
worth.
man, that's such a dad joke.
Dad joke. Solid.
Low
They milked
liquidity.
it
No,
for
so
all-
if you're talking about low liquidity of milk, it was probably milk that had gone bad and was turning into sour cream.
Oh man! All right, so what they do? They inflated the value of Moo on a decentralized exchange called Uniswap and leveraged the tokens as collateral to drain user assets deposited into the protocol.
Started out with 200. They started out with 182 grand. That's how much it cost to exploit this liquidity.
Yep. That was
There's one we're about to talk about where they started out with 10 million to do the exploit.
Flash loans. Sorry, I was something in my throat.
Actually, that's the next story, I think. Oh, you know what? The second link. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, I need to change the links around. I accidentally included the Mango link in the Moola hacker area in the show notes.
Oh no!
Is the second one?
Yep.
Mango Moola.
Yeah, but we got Moolas and Mangoes getting hacked.
Yeah.
All
I feel
right,
like we're gonna run out of names.
When you said the CeLo blockchain, I was like, CeLo Green has his own blockchain.
Yeah, he's got his own chain
Yeah,
now,
dude.
man.
He sings.
It's
the
called
phrase.
the forget you or F you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the FU coin.
Forget
FU
you
coin.
All right, so Mango Market hacker returns funds, says hack was legal.
Oh,
This one's
What is
Voting
this today?
law?
Everybody's.
we got to get a lawyer on our show.
I
This is
think
so
Vote
bad.
is
this
law.
this has to
Vote
be
is law.
because of Tornado Cash going down. Hackers are like, shit. Well, I think I need to just give some
Yeah.
of it back, and hopefully they'll let me keep the rest because I can't really get rid of these funds.
Yeah.
Market manipulation is legal now because someone on Twitter said so.
Yeah, and so they call this a highly profitable trading strategy. That's the new official term for
Trading.
exploiting
Check
smart
out my investment
contracts.
strategy. Check out my investment strategy. I walk into a bank with a baseball bat.
Highly profitable.
It's a
So,
highly
okay,
profitable.
I will say it is very interesting because this person is using, well, presumably their real name and their face, right? They're not like Hacker 2. And they're basically like being full disclosure. They're saying like, here's why it's bad. Here's why you need to fix it. And I'm not wrong. So I don't know. The question is this a guy talking to North Koreans about how to launder money, or is this a guy actually talking about a legitimate, like, real thing?
So
What
I
are the
think
details?
let's get a little background, right? All right. So $114 million exploit happened on mega markets, right? And a person by the name of Abraham Eisenberg has come out and said he hacked it. He said, I was involved with a team that operated a highly profitable trading strategy last week. I believe all our actions were legal, open market actions using the protocol as designed, even if the development team did not fully anticipate all the consequences of setting parameters the way they are. So, all right. So first off, like
It's price manipulation.
He
right?
found, he found a loophole. And
price manipulation is definitely that's oh man. Is it like
he manipulated the oracle, price oracle, right? So it worked by manipulating a price oracle to inflate the Mango token price threefold from 30 cents up to 91 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And so that boosted the value of his collateral, allowing him and his team to borrow more funds from the protocol. And then how did he get it out?
So he actually didn't. Interestingly, he didn't actually come forward. Some investigative journalist, Chris Burnett, published an article providing evidence connecting him to the attack. It includes screenshots of Discord chats describing the attack, suspicious on-chain activities. This is not the first time he's been linked.
Chatting in a public Discord about hacking.
He's just like, LOL, I just made $93 million or whatever. Yeah,
he left his handle.dat on the blockchain.
Handle.dat. Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, like where did the funds go? It says it left them with insolvent positions. He repaid $8 million. So maybe he just held it. I don't know. Oh, it says here they've been repaid on Solana and Ethereum. 47 million to be kept by Eisenberg has been a subject of scrutiny. No, you don't say. It's a little bigger than normal book bounties.
Oh my god.
Auto deleveraging works on exchanges such as Binance, clawing back some profits from profitable traders in order to ensure all user funds are protected. Auto leveraging.
So wait.
Deleveraging.
There's a very key thing that is in this article, and it says, all right, so the 47 million to be kept by Eisenberg has been subject to scrutiny of crypto. Right, we said that, but then it says the amount is larger than the usual bounties claimed by hackers in exchange for the affected platform not pursuing any criminal charges. So, are they pursuing any criminal charges, or is this just like?
I'm gonna assume so, but it's interesting because okay, so what is the crime here? Because I assume there are like actual criminal statutes against like stock manipulation and market manipulation, but I wonder if it would
those
apply.
are covered by regulations and things like that, right?
Or is it like terms of use? Is it going to be a civil suit, right? Is it going to be like, oh, you breached our terms of use because we like specifically said no price manipulation?
Yeah.
Is that in the disclaimer before you trade?
Right. It's like you by trading on our platform, you agree not to hack us and steal all of our money. Like,
I love how the argument is though. Like, we took advantage of the intended design of the vault safe and opened it in a way they didn't realize, stealing the money, but it was all by design. You know,
I will say, like, I kind of it is a little bit. It's more like classic market manipulation, right? I think it'll come down to like if like pretend like we're sitting in front of a judge, right? We're sitting in front of a judge and the judge is like, explain how the bad thing happened. And basically when they explain how he manipulated the price, I think that's going to be the part where the judge makes the call if it was intended or unintended. So like, I guess are there any details about how the price manipulation worked? Did he have to like, was it just purchasing 10 million in currency that caused the price to fluctuate? Or was it like, how did he manipulate that oracle? Because that's gonna be the key. I think price manipulation of an oracle, if they can like make it sound like that's an exploit, like if they can make it sound like that's hacking, then I feel like the guy's screwed. If they can make it sound like that is intended function, if price manipulation is built in, like the whole auto deleveraging thing, I don't know, really complicated trading strategy, I guess. Trading strategy, aka hacking. But
This person posted on Twitter that they bet two people that they don't believe they'll be charged with a crime before 2023 is over. So
That they won't be charged with a crime?
Huh?
That they will
Sounds
not
like
be
they
charged
do.
with a crime?
Will not be charged with a crime.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I don't know. Is there any example of a price manipulation attack being charged with a crime in the U.S. or anywhere that we know of? I can't remember one.
Charge? No.
Yeah, so definitely definitely an interesting scenario, right? Like we've talked a lot about like hackers that do this kind of thing and then they just like either return some of the funds or disappear. In this case, you have like a dude who came out and he's like, "No, I'm the guy who hacked
Well,
this."
he kind of got
got discovered, and then he was like, "Oh,
Right.
you know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally did it.
Yeah.
You're right."
He kind of, yeah, it was like pseudo. I mean, obviously he didn't, either he's bad at covering his tracks or he didn't put much effort into it,
Or he didn't
but
care,
he didn't
right?
come forward. Yeah.
But
He
either
got
way, he's like,
journalisted.
it's legal.
Yeah. I mean, this will be very interesting to follow, like whether this guy does get charged. I mean, he gave presumably his full name and, you know, his picture and enough information to go after him if someone wants to.
Yeah.
So, and I will say like 43 million is, that's that's greedy. That's really greedy. To be like, that's my bug bounty. Like that's probably more than the entire company makes as like a collective salary. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh my god.
like no one at that company is like, oh yeah, what's your salary? $43 million for bug hunting. Like, okay, no.
I mean, it sounds like a good deal actually. To get into bug hunting.
Yeah. All right, so
You
next
can
up
make
are
40
yeah. You can make a lot of money and then in 10 years whenever it's all found to be, you know, highly illegal trading strategies.
One thing-
You go to jail for a
one-
long time.
Well, I will make a bet right now that because I'm not doing anything quasi illegal, I probably won't be charged until 2023 either. So, like I can make that.
Oh
I
wait,
can
you
make
said
that bet.
quasi, so define
Quasi.
that gray area there.
Well, the gray area is I'm actually a bug hunter, and I charge $47 million for bug hunting. No one has taken me up on it
No
yet.
one, yeah.
I don't know why.
All right, next story we got is Ethereum Alarm Clock service. So this is it's a service that would enable a user to schedule future transactions by predetermining the receiver address, sent amount, and desired time of a transaction. So like I think it's basically like you would sign a transaction that in the future at a specific time would get sent. So like if you wanted to have like I don't know what like a recurring payment or something to somebody.
Mhm.
You could possibly do that. So anyways, a bug was found in this smart contract that has reportedly been exploited with nearly $260,000 so far. So on October 19th, there was a Twitter post from blockchain security and data analytics firm PeckShield that hackers managed to exploit a loophole in the scheduled transaction process, which allows them to make a profit on returned gas fees from canceled transactions. So the attackers essentially called cancel functions on
Oh.
these contracts with inflated transaction fees. So they're paying high transaction fees called the cancel function. And as a protocol dishes out a gas fee refund for canceled transactions, it basically allowed them to get a greater value in gas fees than they initially paid.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, it's actually a small amount of funds have been stolen, but it's a classic smart contract exploit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This
51%
is a good
of
example.
the profit. Yeah.
This might be a good like CTF example.
204 ETH.
Yeah, you could script that out super easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you're, if you want to play around on like the test nets and stuff with this, like that'd be a good one to try out, I think.
So so Ryan, scroll up a little bit. It's interesting that like that right there, the cancel function calculates the transaction fee, gas used times gas price to be spent with gas used over 85,000. That's like a hard coded value.
Yep. Which I mean, that's a really low amount. for any transaction. Like that's extremely low.
The contract was 4 years old, so it's like basically a software bug. Like it's like this contract is 4 years old, hasn't been changed in 4 years, and has a vulnerability. It's basically like PHP. It's just like how it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, you probably don't want to use that. I mean, just I don't know.
Throwing that out there.
Use a mobile wallet maybe, and just like if you need to send a transaction on the fly, maybe just carry it with you and use that instead of. I honestly like I can't think of a whole lot of times where I would want to schedule a transaction like that. I mean, maybe there's scenarios that I'm missing there, but I don't know. And what do you guys think?
I could see it. I could see it for specific, like if you had some automated payment or something. It's kind of like a rudimentary, very simple way of doing something, though, right? Like it's like
it sounds like something
contract
you could possibly do in a client, right? Like so in like like in MetaMask or something, right? Like in the app where like you sign it, but it's not actually like posting anything to the blockchain at all, right? Like it's literally just signing a message for the future. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's like since it's been around for 4 years, it's clearly a pretty niche smart contract, because I think it would have been discovered sooner if a lot of people if it was heavily used. But kind of interesting. Kind of a funny concept. An Ethereum alarm clock, like just without digging into what that means, it's like you have to pay ETH to like wake up. It's like wake up. If you don't wake up in time, it just sends ETH to Ralph. Problem solved.
Hey, I'm in.
What is that? A dead man switch? Isn't that what it's
every
called?
no? It's like every snooze costs you like 0.5 ETH.
So that it's incentive to get up, right?
Yeah, it's
Shit,
like
this
get
is
up.
expensive sleeping in.
Yeah, exactly. You have to pay to turn. If you don't turn it off immediately, you have to pay more gas for snoozing. Also, you have to pay to like push back the alarm clock. Like it starts at 6 a.m. You have to pay like 0.2 ETH to go to 7 a.m. Another 0.2 ETH to go to 8 a.m.
That'd be kind of an interesting like dead man switch, right? Like let's say you steal $50 million or whatever, right, in crypto. You set up this alarm clock service that if you don't, hit that snooze button, it just sends it to like the burn address or something. So like if someone tries to like,
Oh my goodness! So that kind of carries us into I don't know if it's next, but the story about the seized funds being drained.
Is that this one? Or,
I think Fed seized 311 million in Bitcoin.
Yes,
stolen back.
Yeah,
right,
so this kind of plays into that. So this is one that had crossed my radar just because I thought it made me so funny, or that sentence didn't make sense. It made me so funny. I
thought you were already funny, Corey.
Sadly, nothing can make me funny. But what happened was, so the Fed seized $311 million in Bitcoin. I think it was Bitcoin. Seized. When I say seized, meaning they took a user's hardware wallet and put it in probably a safe deposit box or something, some one of those like banker boxes they use in like 80s TV shows. And then the funds were then drained while the person was in custody. So I guess the takeaway of this is, so it's I know this is a great graphic. So like basically this is it was two brothers that were kind of partners in crime. Gary Harmon, and he did have a picture of himself taken with a tub full of money. So
a bathtub full of cash.
Let's just say if you want to appear as a juicy target for the FBI, this is a great way to do so.
Take a picture with a bathtub full of cash. Yeah,
this will get you put on many lists if you do this.
Guaranteed.
So yeah, he swiped Bitcoins. Basically, there was a case against Mr. Larry, his brother. 713 Bitcoin were drained from the funds. So, and yeah, it was held in an evidence locker. How did this happen? Right? So this is really advanced hacking. Does anyone have any guess as to how they did it? Anyone?
0 day.
How could...
0 days. Only 0 days could have done this.
Bitcoin's broken.
That's probably what the government will say when they do the debrief. So his brother might have known as seed phrase. What do you think? Maybe.
Oh, that's so smart.
But it's impossible
Literal.
to remember those things or know them.
How,
Crypto
it's like
bros.
14 words. How could
Maybe,
they?
Literal
Yeah,
maybe,
so,
they,
crypto bros.
maybe they wrote it down. Do you think they wrote it down somewhere else?
so it is interesting because Larry, the guy, the one bro, was actually arrested for mixing. Meaning, he tornado cashed. He actually didn't tornado cash. He used grams, which is a
lower
drug. He made a drug search engine called Grams, which lets you find illegal drugs, guns, and hacking services. He ran a mixing service. So, and he snagged 2.5% of the transaction, and he was able to amass however much it was, 700 something Bitcoin with that, which shows you how much transactions are happening if he's only taking 2%. Basically, the Alpha Bay compromise led to his discovery, and he was arrested.
Just like Crocodile.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is a very, very zoomed in picture of Larry. And then basically, the agents, he was arrested and they seized all of his stuff. But I guess it's the upshot of this story is the feds might not know how to seize cryptocurrency super well because you can't just take someone's hardware wallet and be like, all right, it's seized.
Gotcha.
Wallets can be shared. Wallets can be like the seed phrase can be recovered.
So that brings up another problem, right? So if it's in a hardware wallet, they can't just transfer it out, right? So they may have gotten the wallet.
And then they tried to
right?
get his and then they tried to get his passphrases, and he wouldn't give them to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, they ordered him to turn over his passwords. He said they did, or they thought he did, but I guess he shared his passwords, and they didn't drain the funds fast enough. I'm not really sure, but basically, even though he gave his passwords up, the funds were still being drained sort of during that process. So he did sell out his crypto bro though, because Larry told prosecutors that Gary did it.
Larry and Gary, crypto bros for shows.
Crypto bros, Larry and Gary.
Gary is not the sharpest tool in the shed and did not think the consequences for his brother when he moved Bitcoin.
My goodness. So yeah, I mean, I guess like it's incompetence all around. The Fed seized a wallet. They got the password. They didn't move the funds out of the wallet fast enough. That wasn't part of seizing it. Basically, like, I think the government's going to have to realize for you to seize funds, you need to take the funds out of the wallet and put it in a escrow or, a separate.
They're in the computer.
Inside.
No, the blockchain is on the computer, right? I don't understand. So yeah, it's incompetence. Yeah. And I will say, if you scroll up a little bit, that quote is pretty funny. Gary's lawyer said in court, just because the government cannot manage to keep up with this technology, that is not the defendant's problem. Which is like, obviously, that's the lawyer of the guy that's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
You hear that, government? You should be listening to the CoinSec podcast. So you know what's going
hashtag
on.
subscribe.
Hashtag subscribe. Smash the like.
So Gary was arrested. He pleaded guilty to money laundering, and to secure bail, he had to turn over the seed phrases to the stolen Bitcoin. But then his lawyer said that violated his Fifth Amendment rights. Yeah. So, but it's like a crypto bro back and forth. Does the Fifth Amendment say you can't rat out your crypto bros?
Do such
self-incrimination.
You can't make me, say that I committed a crime.
The crypto bro is the self. I guess good for us. This is going to trial, so we'll see how it all shakes out. This is years in the making. So yeah, I guess at the end of the day, the government has to realize seizing funds is only possible if you transfer them to your wallet that you control. You can't just be like, we have the wallet. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
But so yeah, just kind of an old school approach to a new school technology.
That's a good story. Yeah, it's
very well written and in depth, and it's from a traditional news media, not like #wrecked.
Yeah.
So,
which actually our next story is from. So
#wrecked.
I would guess that just like the Crocodile of Wall Street, these two Gary and Larry bros will have a book or a Netflix show because it's just pretty funny. So, I'm just thinking Jersey Shore plus crypto.
Do they have a like gangster rap album though?
They're gonna have to work on it.
They should
I-
collaborate. They should do a crossover with the Crocodile of Wall Street. They should
That's
call it
actually
like
true. That's
Alpha
actually
Bay,
true.
what would it be like?
Larry and Gary rap.
Yeah.
So could it be like public? It's like blockchain enemy number 1, or like
Yeah,
blockchain's
yeah,
most
yeah,
wanted.
yeah.
I'm just thinking of good names. Blockchain's most wanted is good. Web3 bros. I don't know.
I was trying to think of something that goes along with like the chronic
Chronic wallet.
chronic Alpha Bay. All right. So next up, we've got MEV Bot Hacked. This does come from Rect News, which is an awesome news source, by the way. And I fully am very much supportive of that organization.
Super in depth. Yeah.
So this one's actually really funny. Okay, so MEV, which is miner extractable value. So this is the concept of being able to harvest mining rewards and in an interesting way, right? So there are these MEV bots that they try to front run transactions to get the highest payouts. And so there's a MEV bot known as 0xBad, which was hacked for 1.45 million. So the bot was hacked. Now, before it got hacked, it had 75 days of exploiting value from unexpected users. So this mempool menace backfired on its owner, creating a beautiful display of on-chain karma, as Rect would put it.
That's funny.
So after one unfortunate user tried to swap $1.85 million of compound USDC on Uniswap V2, a lack of liquidity meant they only received $500 in USDC. That's bad. So
Back ran the trade.
the bot
Wow.
did backran the trade with an elaborate arbitrage involving many different DeFi dApps. And then they ended up profiting 1.02 million at that point.
Then someone got pissed off.
Yeah, and then, so then it says then an anonymous attacker, definitely not the person that just got hacked, noticed a flaw in the bot, in the bot's arbitrage contract code, and it was able to steal not only the recently acquired 800 ETH, but also the entire 1,101 ETH in 0xBad's wallet. It didn't properly protect the function used to execute flash loans.
So was this something that was out there and then the person who exploited this had been doing this for a long time and it was finally time? Or was this like, oh, I see this happening, let me dev up an exploit real quick, and then within the next hour they were able to do it?
I think it was more the latter. I think
Yeah.
that this bot had been highly successful for a while. It had made over $1 million, 1.85, 1.45, right? So it had made $1.45 million just doing this like MEV attack, right, for a long time.
Mhm.
And then somebody noticed that the contract code to this bot was vulnerable.
They
And then
pissed off
exploited.
enough people that someone decided to dig into it and noticed a major flaw. So I guess it's, like you said, no honor among thieves, right? If you're gonna try to steal from me, why can't I try to steal right back? And if I have $1 million to swap, I probably have $1 million to send some people some currency to try to hack this bot.
Pursue our power with the appropriate authorities to retrieve our funds that we stole from other people. Are you serious?
Oh god. No, they're see, here's the best thing. They're just pleading, right? They're saying like, "Oh, we'll consider it a bug bounty. We won't go after you." And I guess it comes down to same thing, right? Is this legal, highly profitable trading strategy, or is back running and manipulation considered illegal? Oh god. What about the normal people who you have MEV'd and literally effed them? Will you return them or
Yeah, right. That's what I'm
And
saying.
they give like an ultimatum
Counter
back.
offer.
Yeah, counter offer. If you give funds to everyone that you've arbitraged over the years, we will give you 1% of the retrieved amount as a good heart. It's so fun. Pursue accordingly with everything you're part of the appropriate authorities to retrieve our funds. And they just parroted the exact same phrase. That's so funny.
And
Yeah,
there's
so
our
they do-
favorite.
Yeah.
And then there's our favorite phrase, right? MEV bots act on the boundary of code is law.
Code is definitely law. until proven
I
otherwise.
will say, like, this is super sad because I guarantee you, if you sat down with a judge and explained what front running and back running were, and then you explained what contract protection and exploitation is, it sounds more hackery to do a smart contract exploit than it does to just do front running or back running. So, like, unfortunately, to a judge, this would probably sound more like the MEV bot was in the right. But I do think it's like in the Wild West of crypto. Good luck with that, bro.
I think when that conversation does happen, Corey, though, it'll be in relation to a current other existing crime and being like, are these the same? And then being like, yeah, actually they are. Oh, that's weird. We're just gonna have to apply that one over to this one.
You're
To
saying
the
someone
other
else is going to get
100
prosecuted for front running?
attacks.
What's up? No, I'm saying that they'll make the comparison to conventional crimes that are already established as a crime, right? And they'll be like, is this the same? Are we talking about the same thing functionally, right?
Like money laundering.
What is front running?
Yes, money
in
laundering.
real
What's
life?
money laundering? Describe
Generic,
that to
right?
me. Then what is this? Is this money laundering, or is this, or like what other crimes do we have precedents that have happened? Is this the same thing, just wrapped in a different, Web3?
So wait, what is there is there like a stock exchange version of front running? Like, what is that?
Insider trading, I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
SEC would probably have some guidelines around that but I wouldn't know for sure.
It's almost like front running is potentially could be construed as an exploit, like an actual, like, you could explain it as an exploit.
I think the difference. So I would more likely try to tie it to like network level capturing of something that somebody's trying to buy, right? So like on the blockchain side, it's very easy to say like, okay, well, it's all public, so you can see a transaction, and if you're able to capture that transaction and resubmit it faster than somebody else, then you can front run them. Now on the traditional side, it would take some way to capture that transaction, right? Like,
which would definitely be illegal. Totally,
it would definitely
right?
be illegal for sure. Yeah,
to be able to look at the stock exchange, like to look at the stock exchange transactions as they're occurring, like before they're executed, would be like illegal, or would probably be illegal, I assume.
I would think so, yeah.
But also, like, in the days, I mean, honestly, here's an analogy. Okay, so in the days of like phone trading, where it's like, what, you want to sell Warren Buffett at $30? Okay, I'm in. Like, you could overhear that and be like, oh, this guy's selling Warren Buffett at $30. How about 25? Like, I don't know, is that illegal? Like, it's a tough, like, to try to put it into like real world terms is kind of challenging. But you're right, though. You're reading the mempool and you're taking advantage of your like speed or gas fees, so it is kind of like manipulation in a way.
That's why we don't get paid lawyer money.
Yep. Just speculators over here.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just
this
bullshit.
is not
Also,
legal
lawyers
advice.
get paid by the hour. They
Definitely not
This is
legal
not
advice.
financial advice
Definitely
or
not
legal.
financial advice.
Yeah.
All right,
No.
so I think the last big story is Lazarus Group targeting Mac users for crypto jobs. I think, Steve, I saw you post this one in
Nope.
the Discord.
Steve Jobs.
Did I?
Mac.
Yeah.
What?
Steve's like,
you
Oh,
what?
yeah.
it's been a week since you posted it, so you might have forgot. But so security researchers at Sentinel-1 have uncovered a variant of the Operation Interception campaign, which uses lures. Is using lures for job vacancies. So it's trying to get people to come try to like work for them, basically, for the cryptocurrency exchange, crypto.com, to infect very specifically Mac OS users, which is, I find that kind of odd. Like, why just Mac?
So
Target,
just to
but
go ahead, Steve.
malware has also been discovered using the similar tactic. So I think they're targeting Windows users and Mac users in this case, by putting those ads out there. This sounds like, what do we call this? Advertising, malvertising, right?
Malvertising.
Basically, SEOing your website to the top of search engine results and things like that. They don't mention phishing or spear phishing specifically in here, which Lazarus has been known to do for sure. But it sounds like something like if you search for cryptocurrency job, it would be on one of the top results.
Decoy PDF
on it, right?
advertisements. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says, if you scroll a couple more paragraphs, yeah. So it says right there, decoy PDF documents advertising positions were discovered. The campaign, I think it is phishing. I think it's the fact they use the word campaign. I mean, it could be malvertising campaign, I suppose, but it says they don't know how it's being distributed. They basically found PDFs that are exploits. So to speculate wildly, and I do have a little bit of experience doing this in the past. A lot of the EDR presence on Macs is not as well developed as it is on Windows, to put it lightly. A lot of tools don't have the in-depth. Everything is targeted to Windows. So like Sysmon, event tracing, ETW, all that stuff is very well tuned and very well protected in like from an EDR standpoint. On Mac, it's just not that well developed. They don't monitor syscall or kernel stuff. It's just not as well built. And I can tell you from experience, you can go and install Sentinel-1 on a Mac and then download a stock Mythic payload that works on Mac, and it will work flawlessly. No alerts, no problems. So maybe the reason they're targeting Mac is because, first of all, crypto people use it. Second of all, the alerting presence is much less. So that's just my theory for why. Like, it is notable that they decided to build an entire malware for Mac, but I would guess the reason why is because it's way less detectable. But just my take. I mean, I could be wrong. Speculation.
Definitely possible for sure.
So if you click on the crypto.com or the Info Security Magazine, there's actually a link on there for the Sentinel-1 blog as well. And it goes into a little bit more details about the hack, including some of the first stage and persistence and things like that. I'll throw that into Discord.
Nice.
And onto the Notion notes. So if you're interested and you want to go into a little bit more detail about that, it's right there in the notes.
And there's been a few episodes. I think there was a Darknet Diaries episode talking about how they would target. I forget the specific individual, but crypto ads, and it was not only targeting people with job offers, like, hey, come work for us. It was also targeting people with candidates to hire. And like one of the owners of a crypto company actually got on the show with Jack and talked about like, we were interviewing someone and it just was so obvious that they were just it was like basically trying to get access to the company and trying to get access to company documents. It wasn't, they had experience with everything but couldn't speak to anything. So I guess if you're one of these companies that they're spoofing, you got to be very careful with how you advertise your job listings, because people are taking that, people are exploiting that goodwill. So
it's interesting you talked about EDR bypasses. So reading the Sentinel-1 notes on this, they did use signing. So they used an ad hoc signature. I'm not sure what that means for Apple to bypass Gatekeeper. Instead of using a recognized developer identity. Oh, that's right. You have to use Mac Dev, right, or something to sign.
Yeah, okay. Mac has a lot of more security guardrails that are built into it by default, and one of them is it won't run like an unsigned binary at all. Yeah. You have to either manually approve it.
There's 3 steps you have to take to actually get that execution to run.
Yeah.
So
like from an exploitation perspective, it's way harder to get initial exploitation, but once you're in, detection is very difficult. So
doesn't say much though about what it's actually doing afterwards. I'm assuming pulling wallet DATs, cookies for websites, things like that. Typically we see malware do.
I would guess, for sure. I would guess it's also going after like developer tokens, keys, like cloud keys, because they're targeting these companies to try to get access to, like you said, wallets, private keys, crypto stuff, right?
Is it so is it that, or is it that they're trying to get an initial foothold on somebody who's looking to get a job at?
What if they got hired into that job? Then
right?
You might have a way into the exchange.
Exactly. Right? Like, are they like getting like pre C2, like prior to them actually going and working for that company,
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be really crazy.
Supply chain on the next level.
Yeah, exactly.
So personally, I would guess it's people that already work in cryptocurrency, but that would be really interesting if it's like pre-running. I guess I would say like maybe they do BYOD, Like they allow people to just bring in their own personal machines and
Well, even if you didn't, if you were monitoring that users and they're actively applying to jobs, you could be backdooring their resumes. You could be intercepting that traffic. It's okay. So now they're talking with this person at crypto.com. Maybe I can send a fish because now I know that person. So, once we do it all the time, you land on a box or somebody's account and you look through who they're talking to, what they're talking about, and then try to, go off of that to further your attack. So, yeah, either way, it's kind of dangerous. You gotta be wary of what you're clicking on out there when you're job hunting, even, right?
Yep. All right. So I think that's it for the news. Steve, you threw in some DeFi hacking resources. What we got?
Yeah. So if you want to pull those up for us, we have the first one is our start blockchainhacks.com. Bo created that to basically get you interested and started into blockchain hacking. Ryan, if you could pull that up. There we go. So it's a quick start guide. Hosted on Notion, same thing we do. So it's super simple to use, gives you the tools necessary to get started in blockchain hacking. I know there were some people on the YouTube earlier asking about that. So there you go. There's even some slides and a webcast there that Bo presented for Black Hills Information Security. And of course, if you're ever interested in that kind of stuff, training or whatever, hit us up on Discord. We do all that fun stuff. There's also another article in here that I wanted to link, which I really enjoyed because it's DeFi hacks and their analysis and the root cause. So basically it gives you a list. It's GitHub repo, the type of attack, so whether it's insufficient validation, miscalculation, price manipulation. If you click on the Notion down there, scroll down just a little bit, click on Notion, root cause analysis. Yeah. That guy right there. So it gives you a nice chart. You can see what the title of the place that got hacked was, the root cause. You can click on it, the loss, and then even a proof of concept if it exists for that hack. You can go to the GitHub there and pull out a proof of concept so you could try it, practice it, read about it, whatever, on your own. So pretty cool, pretty handy way to go learn about previous hacks and how they were done. And if you want to do them yourself, we give you the tools and start blockchain hacks to go do that with your own Ganache instance and all that kind of stuff. So go play around on your own test nets and stuff and have fun. Again, if you're doing it out there in the wild, make sure you're following bug bounty protocols and not just ransoming people, right? Yeah,
Awesome.
That's all I had on that. So hopefully some people can get some out of that and get started down the exciting path of blockchain hacking.
Yeah. Am I doing something wrong, or can you guys actually sort on that? Can you sort by date? Because I see like the thing at the top.
Yes, you can.
Like, I don't know. It's not working for me. I don't know. Just
so if you click on sort, you're probably on a Mac.
no.
Click on sort, and then you can do descending or ascending.
you might have to open it up in your Notion.
Oh, I see. All right. I gotcha. Yeah. So you got to click the sort button on the top.
Yeah,
Right?
there's the sort button at the top. Yeah.
All right.
So
yeah.
all that sort button does is bring up that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it brings up that bar that says type add filter, maybe. Or maybe
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a
you can
filter.
start adding more filters, date, lost, or you can title or type. You know what I'm saying?
Also, maybe just try clicking on that date column. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's what I was
It
trying.
might not be
Wasn't working.
supported in Safari. It might be only on.
I was just I think it's kind of neat to see, the values, right, and also like by date, like sorting by date is kind of neat.
Yeah, you can see the evolution of the attacks over time and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thanks.
There's one from So it looks like they're keeping it up to date because I see one from today.
Yeah, and it's GitHub. So if you want to contribute, you can absolutely fork it and pull requests to that person's
Well,
GitHub.
I think it's Notion.
Oh, is it? Well, no, there's a GitHub though. I think the Notion is actually pulled from GitHub somehow.
Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't know you could pull a Notion database.
Yeah, if you like click on the POC, I think it takes.
Any
you to-
suggestion, please submit to GitHub. Click that GitHub link.
Oh yeah, no, it's a table inside of GitHub. So like,
Interesting.
No, not
Yeah.
that one. The one at the top left, Ryan. Sorry.
yeah, so
Yeah, that one.
Cool.
it's the
So-
GitHub.
Oh
repo
no.
with the
Yeah,
link.
that's just a GitHub
It is.
issue. You
Got
can.
it.
He takes the markdown from the GitHub and then formats it in the table.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can store it in Chrome. It was just Safari.
Yeah, so that's funny because like apparently there's a $292,000 hack today in Bond protocol,
Ooh.
and I just learned about it from this
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
DeFi hack analysis.
Let's talk about the hack we don't know anything about.
Yep.
All right. Well, it is 2:00. I think we're out of news.
Yep, we're out of time, guys. It's been fun. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us and listened to us ramble about this, blockchain stuff. Make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe, so you know when we're filming, because it is obviously like we're not like super on schedule here.
On schedule with this. Yeah.
So when you get alerted whenever we're actually filming. So definitely hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I guess that's it, guys. We will catch you hopefully next week. For another
71.
episode. 71.
Climbing to that 100.
Closing on triple digits.
I don't know if we're gonna hit it by the end of the year, like we said.
I mean, we're not, but that's
We'd have
okay.
to do like 5 episodes a week.
Yeah.
One episode, micro episode, hack edition.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching. We will catch you next time on the CoinSec Podcast.